I'm like only just realizing now that in a half an hour, my cat is going to interrupt me to be fed. She knows it like down to the fucking second. I have her on a relatively strict feeding schedule. So hello, hi. I am about to get going here. We're going to pull cards for everybody in the zodiac for September 2022. I am trying to kind of move away from doing these on TikTok. TikTok and I are not friends right now. We're just not. So I'm going to give like a second to see if anybody from my Patreon comes here, Aries, Taurus, and we'll get going very shortly. And we'll take it from there. Let's see here. Just making sure I still have a brain, like I'm remembering the fucking zodiac. We have Aries, we have Taurus, we have Gemini, we have Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. I will put timestamps when this is after this is published, so you can just jump right to your sign. All right. It's been a while. It's been a month. It's been a month since I've done this, so let's fucking go. Am I allowed to cuss on YouTube? Most of my lives are unlisted for my patrons, so like I don't know. I don't know the rules here. I'm new. I'm old, but I'm also new. All right, what's going on with my deck? Why? Today's energy has been something else. It was very like loud earlier. Like it was between like there was a weed whacker. There was this dude like vacuuming somehow outside on my deck. It was just it's been loud. All right. So Aries is first. We'll start with you and just see what September is looking like. I know we're all totally looking forward to this Mercury in retrograde that's lasting till October. And then that's followed by a Mars in retrograde. Mars is going to be in Gemini for like 7 fucking months. That's fun. All right, Aries. Oh, I love the Page of Pentacles. Starseer. What's going on with Aries for September? This is interesting. Just visually, what's going on here? We have like these two little fur babies being held very close. Pets might actually be really important for you, Aries, this month. So keep your fur babies close. Divine timing, and one more for Aries, please. Okay, so first card I picked for Aries was the Page of Coins, Page of Pentacles. To me, this is always like new student energy. This is like, oh my God, look what I found. I want to show everybody. I want to know everything about this. This was me back when I was living in San Diego, and I was like finding little shinies all over the place when I was like asking my guides to give me like a fucking break. You might find something shiny this month. You might find something that really captivates your attention. I sense it's around your mental health, just given the other cards I'm about to show you. So maybe this is like finding a new therapist. Maybe this is finding a new modality that really works for you. But the sense of excitement I'm feeling with this card, it can't be overstated. Like this feels really fun to me. And I'm saying that because the next cards that I'm pulling have a little bit more gravitas. So just keep in mind, hi, Erin, keep in mind that this is definitely, you're not supposed to take this too heavy and too seriously. This does feel like such a fucking Aries card. Keep your temper. Because I'm hearing stagnation through the channel. This is part of the Mercury retrograde energy that you're going to be dealing with. You're probably going to be finding a shiny. You might, again, find a new modality that's going to really help you with your mental health. Maybe you are thinking it's September, so maybe you're getting more into schools and studies. But because of this like retrograde pattern that we're going to be in September and also moving into October, you might feel very frustrated because you're so excited to like run out the gate and go after what you want. You're going to get really, this is just to kind of emphasize this like sense of wonder and curiosity that says follow the white rabbit. Curiosity meets opportunity. Something's going to show up. The reason that I'm saying it's for your mental health is because I have this underworld card, and the vibes from this are not enough to take away from the excitement and the joy that I'm getting from this card. This feels like maybe this is like psychedelic assisted therapy for some of you, which is really, if you've never experienced that before, that's exciting. Like you're about to embark on new dimensions in your consciousness that up until now you didn't know were there. Do I think psychedelic medicine is for everybody? Absolutely not. It just isn't. But if you feel called to it, if it's something that you're getting kind of like synchronicities about, just to understand that our consciousness can do what it can do when it's in those altered states, when you're letting your subconscious kind of show up, when you're putting your ego to the side, is really fascinating and often very life-changing. What you're moving towards, Aries, is peace. And that's why they don't want you to like let your temper get the better of you. I'm feeling a lot of very like, why I want it now. Like I'm getting a lot of like Veruca Salt. Like I just figured out this amazing thing with this Page of Coins energy. So now I want everything on a silver platter right now. I just want it. Now, the reason you're going to get frustrated is because whatever you're getting into, it's great that you're getting into it. Please stay focused on it. But it is going to be a matter of divine timing when this show, like when you're able to really move past the page and into the more like mature phases of that pentacle energy. I have Star Seer. For some of you, this might be a little bit less about your mental health and maybe more about your galactic heritage. Maybe this is more about your spiritual essence. Looking into, I'm hearing research in the channel. So maybe you're going to be doing a whole lot of reading, talking to people, listening to podcasts about what your connection is with this energy here. This card, Surrender, I actually just wrote a huge little diatribe about this on my Patreon. Surrender is too often, especially Aries with you, it's too often conflated with like battle. I think sometimes when we hear surrender, we think, okay, well, wave a white flag, stop fighting. And in a sense, that's true. But what I said in the Patreon is that like a synonym for surrender is give way. So think about how like your in-breath gives way to your out-breath. Think about how the sun, the daytime gives way to the nighttime. Like there's no struggle there. It just happens. Surrender is something that you just let happen. You just let it, you don't go up against it. You don't try to change it. And with your level of impatience that I'm kind of sensing with that keep your temper card, this might be where you get even more frustrated. Like me telling you to calm down is not necessarily going to help. And at the same time, see what you can let just happen to you. What can you let just happen to you? Okay. All right. So that's Aries. We'll get into Taurus here in just a second. I am going to shuffle all of these just to see if there's like kind of common threads or themes based on your sign. So we're moving into Taurus now. I'm trying not to dread this Mars retrograde. 2020, the Mars retrograde absolutely just had its way with me. All right, so what's going on with Taurus for September? Okay. 2022. Taurus, this might be. I haven't been doing these as often, so it's like hard for me to know like what the vibe has been with all the signs. I used to be able to kind of follow all y'all's waves, and now it's a little bit of a surprise to me. Stagnation again. And the way through this stagnation, it really feels like, and this is difficult. It's difficult for me, is to just like don't try not to give it like. Sometimes when we are feeling stuck, like all we can think about is how stuck we are. And then we're giving energy into that idea of stuckness. And we're reinforcing it. So I think Taurus, you're just going to need to chill. If you were trying to get, I hate to say this, if you were trying to get anywhere this month, Taurus, it might not happen. It might not happen for a while. It might not happen until retrograde season is over. I am going to try to get some advice for you about this, though. But let's see what we have. So the reason I'm kind of like, it's the 9 of Coins and Strength reversed. These are both really beautiful energies when they're upright. When cards are reversed, it means that there's a narrowing of the channel of that energy to get to you. It doesn't mean that it's not there. Okay, it doesn't mean that this isn't hopeless or anything, but the 9 of Coins, 9 of Pentacles, and Strength when they're upright, when they're up like this is like the strength that you get from gratitude. This is the strength that you get from recognizing your abundance. And right now, Taurus, the energy is very like, it's very like this. Now, for one of you, I know that's actually not because you're acting childish. It's because you just lost something very important to you. I was talking to somebody who may watch this later, and there was a passing. So trying to find courage and strength while you've just lost somebody very dear to you, that would definitely reflect this energy as well. So it's not just the petulance. This actually just feels like you're having a hard time accessing joy. You're having a hard time accessing gratitude. I have loneliness showing up for Taurus. Maybe this is a breakup for one of you. What I'm feeling, one of you just found out your ex, but it's an ex from like 3 years ago. They're being a little specific. It's an ex from like 3 years ago that might have just gotten married or had a kid, and you found out on their Instagram or their social media, and it's triggering this real bad. It might be causing you to withdraw, which is funny because I have withdrawal here showing up for you as well. If you know yourself, especially with Mercury in retrograde coming up, because that is the season that we're like, I wonder what my ex is doing. You know, you shouldn't be looking. Try to stay off social media as much as possible if it's draining you. You're not supposed to withdraw so that you continue to feel more lonely. This isn't like this is not introversion where you're like pushing people away. That's not what they're asking you to do. They're asking you to withdraw so you can reflect. That's what retrogrades are about. Like ultimately, I know we kind of look at them as like, we add a lot of like negative associations with retrogrades, and I don't always I'm starting to not always understand why that is, because it's just a slowing down, and sometimes we move so fast we need to actually pull back to do a little bit more of this. I'm hearing reflect on your choices, Taurus. I have resources showing up here. Hello. I'm having resources show up. So that's, your resources are going to be internal. This is more of an internal resources versus external resources thing. I have who in the world are you reversed. There's some depression showing up for Taurus, because this isn't even like sadness. This is just like, I don't care. Sometimes not giving an F is fine. Sometimes it can be not so healthy. Mount Shasta, this is kind of an oddball. This is an oddball card, because Mount Shasta has I think it's a vortex site. There are some strong connect ties between Mount Shasta and Lumuria. Some very woo-woo new age people kind of tend to hang out there. I have not visited. I would like to kind of scope it out. I'm just going to turn my ringer off because that will drive me crazy. I'm like today I've been so hypersensitive to sound. I'm going to get a clarifier on the Mount Shasta card. I'm hearing harmonics for Taurus. If you have music, like sound healing, if there's certain tones that really help you while you're kind of in this like internal withdrawn place, maybe put on some music. I have the King of Swords. I think you need to get out of your thinking mind and into your more intuitive mind, into your more kind of like spiritual center. They're saying that there's a point that you're really trying to make, maybe with yourself or somebody else, and you're not able to because you're feeling so stuck. Try not to look at it as being stuck. You're just on pause. And it's with the intention of, again, getting into that retrograde energy is a way to kind of like reflect and think about things, hopefully in a loving way. Okay. Hopefully that made sense. We are now moving into Gemini. My best friend's mom has property out there that people keep trying to buy from her to turn into like a retreat center. She's like, no, I'm not going to do it. The people I've talked to that have a connection with Mount Shasta the energy there seems even wilder than Sedona somehow. Sedona is like full of these pockets of energy, but I don't know if it's because of like, you know, how it's shaped. There's more of a triangular sort of like focal point of that energy. I shouldn't talk about it until I go. Gemini. What's going on with Gemini? Ancestral healing, I think, and clearing a little bit for Gemini. I can see Mount Shasta from my grandparents. Oh, that's so cool. Have you met any of the like locals, like the people around there? This afternoon. Inspiration, creative spark. Okay. Upright. What's going on with Gemini for September? Balance, indecision. Ooh. You're gonna be getting a little rocked, I think, by this Mercury in retrograde, Gemini, a little bit. And it's not bad. It's just if you're finding yourself a little bit less decisive than normal. So I think we're spending most of the time in the retrograde in the sign of Libra, and then it goes back to Virgo. wisdom. Transcendence, achieving success. Upright. Sorry, they keep saying upright. Balance. 10 of coins. Hello, thank you. It's Alistair from Husband Hotel. He's my favorite. My strawberry pimp. 10 of coins. This is what is passed down to us, our legacy, and often what is passed down to us from our families. This is a pretty triumphant card sometimes, but the 10 of coins sometimes, because of its ancestral connection, can have a little bit of like a bit of stuff. But this kind of came out, these two kind of came out together, Journey to Wholeness and the 10 of coins. That's why I said I'm hearing like ancestral, either purging, clearing, or actually, for some of you, it might be reunification. Maybe you had a family member that you had a dispute with back in, one of you, they're saying 2013. So this is like a long time ago. So you might be at a point where you've done the work around your trauma. You've done a lot of work for yourself. You've done a lot of embodiment. You've done a lot of therapy. And now maybe you're ready to have a conversation with somebody that you haven't spoken to in a long time. I'm having paradox show up here. And I think I'm going to get a clarifier on that too. What's the paradox about Gemini is a paradox. There's definitely twin imagery in here too. Don't they look like Ghost Honey from the Tiki Talkie? Hello. Hi, guys. There's a whole bunch of you here. Oh, and Sarah, I'm pulling for Gemini right now. I'm trying to figure this out because this is a little bit a twirl to show. It's long. He's very, I've drawn this character before. He's like one of my favorites to draw, the shapes and the angles on him. So, but this is the back. It's boring. This is the front. I get so shy when people are like, show me your stuff. Okay, so paradox. What's the paradox about for Gemini? I might not even have to draw for this. The paradox for Gemini? No, I haven't done Aquarius yet. The paradox for Gemini has to do with success. Because I think you are starting to understand that success isn't what you initially thought it was. Like, success doesn't have to necessarily reflect financially. It doesn't necessarily have to reflect in like what school you went to or like where you live or it can, that's fine. But this feels very interpersonal. It feels like this is like, I didn't realize I could be successful until I actually like healed myself and worked around my trauma. And I think you're still trying to wrap your head around it because you're so cerebral. This is a little bit like feels like new territory for Gemini. I can't stop focusing on this for you. This Journey to Wholeness number 33. Sarah, isn't that like one of your numbers? Isn't this card stunning? Also, there's such like every time I see this card, as much as I love it, there is a very visceral sort of like purging energy that comes with this Journey to Wholeness, because to get to wholeness, we sometimes have to like really release what is keeping us fragmented from ourselves. And that can be a whole thing. It's a lot of crying sometimes. I have balance and indecision. This might also be something of a paradox for you too this month, because so the retrograde, Mercury retrograde is in Libra. So indecision was kind of showing up for everybody. I think for you this month, not knowing, you're going to be okay. Maybe you're better off not knowing everything, Gemini. Maybe you're better off. That's where we're looking more at wise mind than we are about like critical mind for you. And I have all in the golden afternoon. It says inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. There's this really fun, kind of trippy little sense of like innocence. This kind of like my guides are, they're like, wow. They must like Owen Wilson. Yeah, the wisdom card's gorgeous. They're like, you're going to find yourself just in a space where you're like, wow, I don't think I knew I could feel this way. There's new neurons, there's new neuro pathways that are being structured for Gemini. And it's because of all the work you've been putting into yourself. So that's exciting. Good job. Owen Wilson is so good. I can't wait for Loki season 2. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Feels like it's been forever, but I imagine that show costs a lot of money to make. And from my understanding, the filming industry has been up to its neck in just like issues between people striking and, bad business decisions from very big companies. You're welcome. Cancer is next. I think so too. The tiki-takis, it still is what it is, but like I saw a couple of people posting videos that they had made back in 2020. 2020 for me were like the halcyon days of that app. Like I was brand new to it and I was just discovering it, but the content was so different. It was so different. And there was such a stronger sense of community than I feel like there is now. That's what I'm really feeling kind of like bleh about. Cancer. What's showing up for Cancer for September? Ooh, lovely. I don't know if I can show that card on YouTube. I'm gonna have to censor it. Oh my God, Cancer. This is looking nice. Very nice. Oh yes. You might just get to chill this month. I would like some of this energy, please, and thank you. Can I get another one for Cancer, please? Oh my goodness. Cancer, are you falling in love? I'm going to have to message my friend who I haven't talked to in a while because I think she's going through some kind of like romantic sacral awakening, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here. I'm also, my guides are going like this. Like this is something, Cancer, that you set your intentions real well for whatever this is that I'm pulling. I'll show you the cards in a second. I just want to get two more. C'est magnifique. C'est très beau. Oh my God, c'est génial. I don't know why I'm speaking French right now. Okay. Nothing but good vibes for Cancer. I don't know if I've ever said that during one of these zodiac lives. I have the World. Oh, here we go. Censor the noobs. I have the World, completion, graduation. This is, you beat the final boss and the world is your oyster. It is your oyster. I have endless opportunities showing up. Number 23. Oh God, this is so beautiful. I like want to cry. And this is not something that happened by accident. I have harmony showing up. Look at you. Look at you with your little lyre. Is that supposed to be Orpheus? No, because that would be tragic. This is you. Everything is just vibes. I wonder if some of you are going to like Burning Man this year. If you're on the playa right now, you're going to watch this later and be like, oh my God, everything shifted. Gratitude for Cancer. Self-love for Cancer. Beautiful. This is just amazing. And again, this isn't something you stumbled upon. This is something that you have put magic into. I'm seeing jars. So I don't know if you made a spell jar a little while back. And it's funny that my guides keep referencing like almost a decade ago. This is coming from something that happened back in 2012, maybe 2013 as well for Cancer. So we're in this kind of, maybe there's like a decade, there's like a return happening here for some of you. You're such a different person. You're such a different person than you were back then. And think of like where your trajectory was in 2012, 2013 Cancer, and think about where you are now and just like how much has shifted. I have inspiration and I have invention. Number 11, burning with passion. This does sort of feel like this could be falling in love energy. It might not even be with a person. It could be with something, a project that you're a part of, a team that you're a part of. It could just literally, I had that self-love card. It could just be yourself. This is vibes. I don't even know what else to say. This is so beautiful. And I usually drag you. I drag Cancer. I'm mean to Cancer. And there's nothing that you've given me nothing for ammo to do that. So just enjoy. Just enjoy this. If you're a Cancer, you have Cancer placements. I forgot to mention at the very beginning of this is for like sun sign, moon sign, rising, like any strong placement in your chart. If this isn't something that's accessible to you right now, it's on its way. I'm hearing on the verge. And I think if you don't put up a fight about receiving it, it's just stuff that you're giving to yourself. So again, if you're not tapping into it, leave the reading, whatever. Hello, I've missed you too. But yeah, I wish Bear was here. So I'll have to tell him, like, I just pulled nothing but vibes for Cancer for September. Beautiful. Leo is coming up. Serafina, if you've been trying to send me Marco Polos, they have not been going through. I can't find you. I don't know why I can't send them to you. I haven't been able to find your name. I'll message you privately. Jesus Christ. Leo, what's going on with Leo for September? Ooh. This is just going to be vibes too. Okay. Lots of interpersonal stuff that I'm feeling, I think, for maybe everyone. I still feel kind of rough. I feel Taurus has it rough right now compared to, I'll maybe circle back on that. The pillar. Okay, got a couple more and we'll get into this. So I'm doing big piles because, yeah, this is all about relationships for Leo for this month. Okay, 9 of coins. So this is upright. This was reversed for Taurus. Actually, this might be for somebody with a Taurus Leo combination, maybe like a Taurus sun, Leo moon, because I have reflection showing up here, which also showed up for Taurus. 9 of coins, similar to the energy for Cancer, is about gratitude, abundance, really reflecting on your ability to create what you need for yourself. This is a really beautiful, this is where you start feeling really confident about your ability to manifest. You're like, no, this actually works and I'm good at it. Now, I have relationships as kind of a focal point. So this could be gratitude around relationships or building them. For a couple of you with Leo placements, this means taking something to the next level. Maybe you've been sort of like hanging out with somebody that like makes you feel some kind of way. And maybe you want to take it. It could be a friendship, but like if it's romantic, or maybe you want to make the next move or take the next step. Hello. So I have vulnerability showing up here. It came out reversed. Because my guides are saying tug of war, like you're trying to figure out how much of yourself you really want to broadcast. I think you have the wisdom to do this correctly. I have the pillar showing up for Leo. Part of what you're going to have to do to take it to this next step, like to actually step into this vulnerability, is to understand that your role in every relationship is not to be the one holding it up. Did you hear the words I just said? That is not that's not your responsibility. Relationships are like, there's more than one person. There's an agreement that y'all are kind of sharing the load, so to speak. So again, reflection showing up for both Taurus and Leo. I have shine bright like a candle. It says you will make it through this. Now, sometimes this card shows up when like you're kind of struggling with something. I don't feel like this is a tremendous, like heavy struggle. I think this is like, no, if you want to open up to this person, if you want to get a little bit cozier with somebody, you can do it. You can do it. I have trust showing up, love and friendship. Look how sweet. That's the vibe. I look at the look on their face. So cute. So yeah, Leo. I think I'm hearing flowering. I think something's about to bloom, maybe go. It doesn't feel terribly dramatic, which might be weird for you. Like maybe you're waiting for something really, really big to happen because of this. It might just be little baby steps. We'll see. Okay. Virgo and Virgo placements. I feel so silly that I didn't say that at the beginning. I'll have to put it in the notes. And that's your moon. It's my rising sign. Oof. I'll maybe have story time after this. Maybe have story time, talk about how that's shown up as relevant for me. Like as of yesterday. Oh, that's too many for Virgo. We're going to have to slow our roll there. What's going on with Virgo? Should I get one more of these? Okay. Virgo, you're like ready to get down to business, like more than ready. You're feeling freer than you felt in a really long time in some pretty critical ways. You might not notice it yet. You have trust showing up too, like Leo did. Different card, but same idea. Trust is a two-way street, returning, going with the flow. You've shaken something off, they're saying, Virgo. Something that was really, it feels like a hook in your side that was keeping you and preventing you from moving forward. This is going back, and they're saying in February of last year, could be February of this year. It's either this year or last year. There was something that you felt relatively obligated to, and you were not stoked about it. You were kind of bitter because I think it was a caretaking situation, and maybe you didn't want to admit to anybody how bitter you were. I can't tell you how many people have come and seen me lately that are suffering and struggling a lot with guilt about like having to take care of like parents and stuff that are like really horrible to them. So it feels kind of like that, something that you had to do that you really didn't want to do. We'll do one more here. Honesty, kindred spirits. This is again about interpersonal relationships. This is a theme. This is Mercury in retrograde in Libra is showing up super strong, super strong in this reading for just about everybody. And not in like scary bad ways either. This actually feels kind of nice. Okay. All right. So I have the Chariot and the Three of Coins. You are ready. I think you might already be engaged in this. This is collaboration energy in a very big way. If you've had a project, if you have a podcast, if you have a book you're trying to write, if you are part of a team at work, like this is you saying, let's fucking go. Like, let's go. It's time to do it. It's time to move forward. I'm excited to be working with you. I look forward to our partnership. This feels real good. For those of you that are in a place of trust, I do have trust. It came out reversed because of just like the mirrored imagery in this. This doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like you're too afraid. Like if there's any mistrust about who you're working with, Virgo, it's back of the head. And I think it's stemming from old trauma. That's okay. You're still Virgo. You're still going to be discerning and careful and wise and all that stuff. But I think that's interesting that this also showed up for Leo. So if you have a Virgo Leo combination, which I do, and I've been getting collaboration in my own personal readings really strongly, which is fascinating. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be collaborating. I may be collaborating with an artist who's a part of the AOD community, which I'm really, really excited about. I am working on a book. But I don't even have a working title for it. I want to write a book about trauma-informed manifestation. And that is going to take, that might be like a year, 2 year long project. And I'm also really getting serious about starting that podcast that everybody keeps asking me to start that I keep not starting. Sorry. Virgo, I have a moon in Virgo, my first house. This is relevant to me too. I have the Magi. This is you and Cancer both. I think are becoming more and more consciously aware of how your manifestations are showing up. This is very similar to the Magician and Tarot about using your resources to get to an end goal, hacking your consciousness to know what you have accessible, to see whatever this vision through. See through whatever this vision is. I have Soul Star Chakra. This also came out reversed, which I think is fine. I think that what that means is that you're still getting input. This is the chakra that's kind of like up here. I should know this, but like I don't fully understand the difference between the Soul Star and the Crown. I think it's just like one dimension higher, but you are staying pretty grounded. You are still getting downloads. You're still getting downloads, but you're not like in the clouds about it. I have honesty showing up here for Virgo. I think if you are collaborating with anybody, you're very clear about what your expectations are. I think you're also being really honest with yourself about how far you've come and how strong you actually are and what you deserve. That's also coming through right now. I have mortality reversed. This is great. Because when this is upright for Virgo, there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of nail biting and like, I'm running out of time. I don't know and it's reversed because I don't think you're concerned about it right now. The amount that you've been able to filter out triggers is pretty fucking astonishing, honestly. I have kindred spirits. This is coming back to that Three of Pentacles card. Whoever it is that you are working with, this could be a working friendship. If you're like got all these Virgo placements and you're like, I don't know what this is about. Think about your friendships and think about your relationships and what you're building. We're building a story together, even in this chat. Like we're building timelines just by communicating with each other. So what are you building? What vision do you want to see? I have returning. You've returned to yourself, and look at this fall imagery. This might pick up for you even more in the fall. What is that? The 21st, the equinox. This is when things are really going to start picking up for you. I have going with the flow and returning number 20. Okay. Beautiful. That's awesome. I'm very stoked for you. Okay. What's next, Libra? So stoked you guys are here. Libra. Knight of Coins. That was not what I was expecting to pull for. That's not a card I pull terribly often for Libra. Okay. Ooh. Resilience, finding your limits. Huh. Are there folks in here with Libra placements that feel like this is really resonating a lot with the 3-card spread I pulled for the Patreon for this month about work and understanding why we work, who we're working for, how we can bring more awareness into that. That's how. Yeah. Me too. It's just the wild. The comments are also. I struggle because my ADD gets really like because there's just so much happening, so many people talking at once. Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins, the hardest worker in the deck. Now I have this, and I have it paired with the Infinite, and then Resilience. And I feel like, sorry for the glare, I feel like I'm like creeping underneath here. I have choices feeling blocked. I imagine Libra is going to get their booty handed to them with this retrograde because it is in Libra. Oh, Libra. This doesn't feel catastrophic or anything. This just feels a little bit resigned to the idea that I am just stuck in this job forever. Like I can try to manifest all I want, but this, like, realistically, this is what I have to, where can I go? I'm married, I have kids, like I can't move to the place I want to move. I can't, like, I know that we talk about freedom of choice because we do have that freedom of choice, but we don't always talk about the consequences that come with those choices when we're trying to manifest these big life changes. I have the Weaver showing up, I have Love showing up, and I have Thought. If you're struggling with your work and you can't like change jobs, what this says is finding your limits here. There's a part of you, Libra. Oh God, I'm going to get in trouble for saying this. Let me see if I can. There's a part of you that's addicted to feeling like you will never have the things that you want because of work. It's work. If this isn't resonating with you guys with Libra placements, that's totally fine. Leave it. But it feels very like I've been, let's say it's an insurance claims position. You're working for the corporate America, and you've been in this job for 5 to 8 years. The money's good. You're getting paid great. You know, it's fine, but you are bored and you've had some awakenings over the past couple of years that are telling you that maybe this isn't what you want to be doing. But there's sometimes this thing that happens where we get resigned to it might be learned helplessness for a couple of you, which is a little bit different than what I'm talking about. Learned helplessness is a trauma response. We can get into that later. But some of us have like a little bit of an addiction to the story of like woe is me. This is just my life. I could never, you know what I mean? Let me see if I can get an advice card here for Libra. I'm a little stuck because this energy feels really just like, how much love are you bringing into the situation? I've been feeling resigned to not having as much income as I'd like because I'm so unwilling to do anything I don't want to do. Same. Like the amount of freaking stuff I feel like I have to do to like where I want to see my business go. I'm just like, where am I going to get the energy? So there might be some of that for Libra too. Like, look how tired they look. They're tired. Maybe I keep hearing kids. This is for somebody I think also with kids. It's just draining. This is where you want to be, and this is where you are. This is making me think, believe it or not, if you guys are not familiar with Steven Universe, go onto YouTube and look up the song It Was Just a Thought. It's a song that I can barely talk about this freaking song without like crying because of what it means to me. I found it when I was like in the middle of a major mental health journey. But it talks about how the story, it's essentially the idea that like the things that we think about that we make catastrophic, or at least things we blow, it's just a thought. It's just passing energy. It's just passing strange. Love is the answer. This is the answer to everything. It's the answer. I know that's like a really general statement, but it's true. It's the answer to everything. If you're feeling listless at work, set a timer on your phone every hour or so to get up, give yourself a stretch, get some water, message a friend. When you get your paycheck, say thank you for the things that this affords me. That you need to start reminding yourself that love is the key. Because even like when we're kind of struggling or feeling stagnant, like when we can bring love into the equation, like pull a Cancer, man. Cancer, talk to your Cancer friends because they have it fucking figured out apparently. But that's, I wish I had something a little bit more for you because this is just very sticky and it might not get resolved. Or you might not feel much more clarity about this until the retrograde passes. So just give yourself to like they're saying mid-October to have this energy clear. Okay. Scorpio. Oh, good. Let's go. Scorpio. I'm feeling resent. Okay. What's going on with friggin' Scorpios? Good. Scorpio stellium loves this. Okay. Okay. Ooh. My root chakra just did something like intense. Because I think it feels like an unwinding, an opening. Like if you've had a really like, I don't know how to describe, I shouldn't describe energy centers as like tight muscles, but it feels like if you've had a very tight root that hasn't been able to move a lot of energy through, you're unwinding a little bit here and it feels intense. Like there could be a very big surge of Kundalini-ish energy for you, Scorpio, over the next, they're saying 6 weeks. It's going to be a ride. And there's going to be moments where you feel absolutely terrified and like you've made the wrong decision. Try to just like breathe into your, like come into your body, do whatever you need to do. For some of you, it's holding ice in your hand. They're saying if you get panicky. Okay. This is something that's been waiting for you for a while. This is something that has been waiting for you to say yes to it for some time. It's been waiting very patiently. It's making me really emotional, actually. So this could be a relationship. This feels big. Release. This is what I'm feeling in the root right now. What deck am I missing here? I've got 2 more cards and we'll get into it. You feel like you went through a major detox. I was purging yesterday. Oh, Scorpio, this is making me want to cry, man. Wow. In a big way. Not me second guessing law school. Yep. Okay. This is about friendships. This is about relationships. This is about more than that. This is a paradigm shift. And again, this is one that I think has been waiting in the rafters for a while. It's been waiting for your permission. It's been waiting for your consent to come to you. I have the Queen of Wands. So this is you manifesting like a baddie. This is something that your spirit is like, it's like sending out an SOS for this. I have new blueprints showing up. This is new. This is like new avatar territory. This is not even just, this is beyond new timeline stuff. This is something else. They're saying it's radical. It's very connected to throat chakra as well. I got a little bit of a download on the Tiki-Taki last night that between September and I think they said December, we're getting some kind of really big activation between the throat chakra and the third eye, excuse me. It's between here and here, and it's going to be big. It's not going to feel like what you guys think it's going to feel like. It's very much a way for us to get closer to who we actually are, and understanding like how this all works. And Scorpio, it's just, I don't know, they just keep saying permission, like you really needed permission. I have becoming braver. You've needed to clear some stuff out. You've needed to, Jesus, this is making me emotional. I feel targeted. Look at this. Look at their little face. Inner child work has been done. You've done a lot of work around taming a very reactive protector part of you to let new energy in. I have release again showing up here. I have transcendence again showing up, achieving success. You've been waiting for this. Your soul's been waiting for this. So part of the reason this is so emotional is because it's almost like a homecoming. It's like a promise that you know you've kept to yourself that's finally happening. It's a relief. Again, friendship showing up here. This could have to do with if you've been like me, maybe this is why I feel so targeted. I've been very, very, very hermited for the past like 4 or 5 years. It's been since before before COVID, like it's been before all that. And it was because I was devastated. All my friendships that I, not all of them, but many of them disappeared very quickly out of my life. I felt very stranded. And when you're fragile and your nervous system is frayed like that, you have to I had to create insulation around myself in a giant way. And I still have that energy in a giant way. I have now managed to work in the place I really want to work. But like where I live, this is a very small little town and it's a tourist town. So like finding community here is, I don't want to say it's impossible, but sometimes it feels that way. I've managed to keep my energy of like, no one can find me. No one can, I don't have to deal with anybody's stuff for miles, like maybe across states. And what you're doing, Scorpio, sorry, this is really long, is see the little heart there? You are saying yes to relationships again. You're saying yes to coming out of your hidey hole a little bit and maybe trying to trust in a way that you haven't in a long time. And it's going to feel a little spooky. It's going to feel a little intense. So just keep breathing. If you're not feeling that connected to relationships, just think about ways in which you've been kind of training yourself to become a braver person. Like what fears have been like, they're saying it's like a horn. Like these fears are like, ah, and like it's been so loud that you haven't been able to hear your higher calling because the fear has been so loud. Now what you're doing is manifesting a way to become braver through that by looking and examining those fears and just being like, oh, this is old news. I'm safe. I'm good. I've been doing a lot of work on myself. So, okay. Whew. Wow. Sagittarius is next. Feeling this. Yeah, I am too. It's going to come in fits and starts for me, but I'm going to have to go back and watch this and see how Scorpio, Leo, Virgo all play together. Because I swear to God, like sometimes I do these and I channel so hard that it disappears out of my brain. The second I say it, Sagittarius is next. Sagittarius. Okay. One of you with a Sag placement is really done with a partner. It's not a partner that you've been dating for that long. You are done with it. I don't know why you haven't told them yet. They are oblivious. They have no idea because they're so in their own world. And that's part of the reason you're tired of it. Culmination. You should probably have a conversation with them before Mercury goes retrograde, which is soon. Innocence. What else is going on? Shadow. What's the shadow about for Sag? Secrecy. There's a couple of you with Sag placements that are uncharacteristically not speaking up about things and like keeping things really hidden. This card just got a little tear in it. One of you with a Sag placement, I don't think they're in the chat. Ooh. This just took a turn. Let me get one more of these. One of you's in an abusive relationship, and that's why you haven't been saying anything. And this actually feels really, really not safe. Okay. 7 of Cups. This is feeling overwhelmed with options. And sometimes being very, very afraid that you're going to pick incorrectly. Like this is literally the scene, not to call up a triggering episode of whatever, I can't even watch that part of the movie, in Indiana Jones and the search for the Holy Grail. Like when they have to, it's like, well, if you pick incorrectly, literally you're toast. That's not the case. That's not what the Seven of Coins, it's not what the Seven of Pentacles is about. As I've said, God, if you're in the Patreon, I've said this so many times. This is the energy of going into Amazon and like it's midnight. You're probably a little twisted on giggle grass and you know that you probably shouldn't spend any money right now. So you put it on the wish list. You put it, this is wish list energy. You don't have to make a choice right now. I have freedom showing up here. I have freedom, self-esteem. I have the Nine of Swords and shadow. Like this is anxiety and fear. And then I have innocence, which I'm actually going to get a clarifier on. And I have these, I don't know why I feel like the innocent and the culmination, completion, and renewal. I know what that's about. Sag. Okay, if this is resonating with somebody who's in like a legitimately abusive situation, I am maybe not the best person to get advice from right now. Like I would say, safety first. Because the advice I'm going to give for the rest of the folks in here with Sag placements is going to be a little bit different. And the advice I'm going to give them might not benefit you. It might be not great. So if you're in a dangerous situation, please reach out to people you trust. I feel like this is like, I'm just afraid of what he'll say to me. I'm afraid of what will happen if I speak up. There's something being blocked here. There's something being blocked in your solar plexus too, Sag. Your inner child has been running the show. This feels like a relationship so strongly. And your inner child has kind of been running the show or being very triggered in this relationship. And these two cards, I think the reason I drew these at the same time, I mentioned this in either a TikTok or a Patreon. I can't remember. It might have been a Patreon live. It is important to honor the inner child, right? Like we're healing the inner child. At some point that child has to grow up. That's not to say that we won't always have the archetype of the inner child in us, but sometimes like we have to not only heal the inner child, but teach it how to like grow so it can integrate with the rest of us. And I just felt panic in my heart when I said that. Something has to grow up, Sag. And I don't like this energy. I don't know why. I think it's because I don't know if you have somebody in your life or if there's like others around you that are impacting this. Like, are you wide awake and your friends aren't, and you're afraid to come out of the woo closet? That could be what this is too. I also am seeing, and I'm smelling, some of you are hanging out with people who are probably close to like in their 30s and 40s, and all they know how to do is drink. That's all they know how to do. And you're not loving that. That's not you. Your body is starting to give you very strong signals that this isn't good for you. And I think you're afraid of either letting them know. You don't have to let them know that they're alcoholics. Don't do that. But I think you're afraid of what would happen if you stepped out on your own. What would happen if you grew up? It's time. It's time. But I think you're not really sure how to do it. I'm going to get one advice card for you, and hopefully that can help. Peter Pan did grow up, but we find out that the Pan is an archetype. Like if you watch Hook, like you're the Pan now. The Pan is a title. It's a role. But the actual holder of the sword, like, watch Hook if you haven't. It's so good. Can I get some advice, please, for Sag on what to do here? Because this is what you need. You need this. This is what's calling to you, but you're being held back by not letting yourself step up a little bit. Seven of Wands. You need to set better boundaries. You need to set better boundaries. Some of you, they're giving me a lot of information about Sag. A couple of you Sag placements are like literally with people. That's why this is here. You're with people who, when you start to shine, when you start to grow, and this could also be very true for that one or however many folks might be in that difficult relationship situation, they're trying to pull you back down. You're trying to come up for air and they're trying to pull you down. It's probably subconscious on their part. It's probably that there's probably spidey senses going off if you've been with this like social group or this relationship for a long time. Like, oh my God, this person's about to leave me because they're growing and I'm not. Maybe that isn't you that needs to grow up. Maybe you have grown up and it's your partner or this group of people that are kind of stuck in that sort of arrested development phase. So stand your ground. Do not give up what you've gained for people who are trying to like usurp that away from you. I don't know why I use such a dramatic word, the usurper, but that's what I got. That's what I got for Sag. They're affecting your self-esteem and it's not worth it. You will find other people. Okay. Sorry, that was super long. Capricorn. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. What's going on with my Cappies? Oh, another page. The Page of Wands. I love this. This energy has been really big in the collective. I don't know if you guys have noticed over the course. For me, it's been since February. It might be, I macro things, but between 2 weeks to 2 months ahead of folks. So it depends. But these sacral chakra activations look like going from periods of like dormancy where you're kind of like tuned out, or like you're not tuned into your creative centers. You're tuned out of your body, your schmegdual centers. And then suddenly you're like, oh my God, like everything is beautiful. You're in love with everything and you're manifesting like crazy. Your creativity goes in like these big bursts. Ooh, Capricorn, this looks really cool. If there's someone in here who's a Capricorn musician, Emma, what sign is our boyfriend? What sign is our boyfriend? I don't know, because I just saw him in my head talking about this. If you're a musician, something's about to shift. Something awesome is happening to Capricorn. This looks really cool. I'm really excited with how much like amazing energy I'm seeing in these readings this time around. Alchemist. What else is going on for Capricorn? He's a schmexy Sag. Release. I don't know why I keep seeing him so strongly for the Capricorn reading, but maybe, does he have any Sag in his chart? Because I'm pulling Freedom also, which I just pulled for Sag. Okay, that would be a trip if that's the case. What am I forgetting here? What card have I not pulled yet? Is that everybody? Okay. Oh, this one. I actually need to refer to my book on this one because this is a card. I think I pulled this relatively recently, but I pull it so rarely that life-changing experiences. Tuning fork of universal consciousness. Capricorn. This is similar to Scorpio a little bit in how revelatory the energy for September might be for you. This is breakthrough energy. Again, Page of Wands. So sacral chakra activation. This is getting really excited to be born, excited to be here, excited to tap into the gifts that you know you've always had, excited to create and play. I'm hearing play really strongly for Capricorn, which isn't something that you're necessarily always going to gravitate towards. I have release showing up for you as well. I believe this also showed up for Scorpio. Okay. I have the Alchemist. Whenever an alchemy card shows up, I want you to understand it is a reflection of the work that you are doing to take something that has fundamentally been difficult for you and turning it into something that is a gift. So usually, like for me, that looks like shadow work. It looks like taking something that I thought was like really crap, and then like being like, oh, this is actually like a learning experience or an opportunity for growth. Like this is big, like I almost want to call it magician energy, but it's a little bit different because this is about like just full on doing the work. I have effort, conquering your demons. That looks like what's Raina's Syrax, is that her name in House of the Dragon? I'm like loosely following House of the Dragon. It's already like too violent for me. I have believe. Strange encounters. Cappy, if you're listening to this and you're like, this doesn't sound like it's possible. What happens if you like suspend your disbelief? That unicorn might be important for somebody in here with a Capricorn placement too. Sound of the universe. This is a pivotal transcendental experience. This is not this part. This is different from that alchemy card. This is something you can't necessarily control. This is something that happens and unfolds because of the choices you've made that have led you to this moment. This is not something to necessarily even look for this month. This is something that will just happen organically. It will happen organically. So don't try to force it. And then I have freedom here. Shirt goblins. You cannot conquer. I don't think this one can be conquered. He is like one of the most powerful overlords in that whole. The show hasn't even come out yet, and I know way too much about this character. If you're a musician in a Capricorn, this looks like maybe getting a record deal. This looks like I haven't picked up my guitar in 10 years, and now all of a sudden these songs are just coming out of me. This isn't something you necessarily anticipated, but it's very exciting. This is really fun. This is letting your inner child really live too. Okay, that's Capricorn. Let's go see. Yes, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for a lot of y'all. This looks pretty good. I don't know what we're going to do about Taurus and Libra. Because they're kind of like, and Aries too. Aries was having a little bit of a rough time. Derek is a Cap and has music. Interesting. The one little thing is like the belief part, the belief element, like believing it's possible. I know sometimes things still happen even though we don't believe they're possible, but if there's been like a long, like that's where we like kind of hold ourselves back from like fear of success and all that. Aquarius, Capricorn with the Taurus moon. So hopefully the energy of Capricorn will get you out of that stuck energy that I was feeling for Taurus. Aquarius. Ooh. Okay, clarifier, please. Clarifier, please. Huh. Let's see what else we got. Get one more clarifier. Whoa. This is big energy for Aquarius. If that wasn't obvious by my muttering. Aquarius, if you have trauma and you have not gone to trauma-informed counseling ever in your life, it is time to go. It is time. It is time. And what I'm feeling here is it's an avoidance of wanting to do it because of what you'll be releasing and what you'll be addressing. It's just very painful. And the thing is, the longer you keep it bottled up, and it's they're saying it's tried to escape a couple of times. They're showing like a corked bottle with like a little like something like a snake or something in it. And it keeps being like, ah, and it keeps trying to get out. And you're like, nope, and you keep popping it back in. It's not gonna. You can't keep doing that. It's not good. Very close attention to your dreams, because especially if you've been having a lot of nightmares, like if you've been having a lot of dreams centered around, they're saying neglect is a big one for Aquarius. Ooh, this is a lot. Okay, you're not crazy. I don't know who of you with an Aquarius placement needs to hear that right now. You're not crazy. That's another reason one of you is afraid to go to therapy, is because you're afraid of a diagnosis. It's just words on paper. As somebody who has had almost every single freaking diagnosis you can have in the DSM. It's just a story that you can kind of like connect with to get data, to understand how your brain is working, to understand how trauma works, and then you get out of it. You're not like, I don't necessarily know. I know for some pathologies this isn't true. Like if you are diagnosed schizophrenic, I believe that is like, I think that's a lifelong thing. Like I don't know. I know there's like schizophrenic episodes, but some of it's genetic and some of it's inherited and some of it's whatever. But these like, I'm bipolar, I'm this, I'm blah, blah. It's just a story. It's a way for us to understand ourselves. Emma, is this message for you? That's hilarious. Okay. The Tower was the first one to pop up, and that's why I was like, okay, let's get some clarifiers there, because this can mean a lot of different things. Is this happening now? Is this something to look out for in September? No, this feels like past energy. This feels like past trauma. What it does suggest to me is that if something happened, like if you have a Tower moment, Aquarius, in September, and you aren't in counseling already, and what's going to happen, even if you were in counseling, what's going to happen is a lot of old stories around trauma are going to surface, and you might make it a bigger deal than it actually is. I have the Seven of Swords reversed, so this already happened. And this feels uncomfortable, this energy. This feels like, I don't really want to say it out loud because I don't want to trigger anybody, but this feels very like a big violation. I'll just put it that way. And it's something that no matter, you could not have done anything about. So there's guilt in here, there's rage there, and it's all buried. It's buried. You know what this is, but it's like uncorking that bottle. No, ma'am. It's kind of like, so I have the Seven of Wands showing up here, and I had the Page of Coins as the clarifier to the Tower. So that was making me a little concerned. Just like those of you with kids with Aquarius placements, like make sure this is very speculatory, but just make sure that you're watching your small children, like in driveways and stuff like that. Like, I'm just going to put that out there. That's something any parent should be doing anyway, but just watch your kids. But this feels more like inner child than actual child. Dreams showing up here. If Dream the Endless were to show up as like a Victorian feminine figure, I feel like that's what they would look like. Your dreams are telling you what needs the healing, Aquarius. We're all mad here. That's why I'm like, just if you're worried about a diagnosis, we're all, none of us are normal. There's no such thing. Normal usually just means repressed or brainwashed. I have honesty showing up here. It is time to get real with yourself. It is time to own it. I have healing. So understand that, like, yeah, this might be uncomfortable to go seek the kind of help that you need, but it's like, if you want to get better, like if there's things that you keep trying to get better around, it can't, and you keep being like, well, I'm going to make 8,000 more excuses. I'm recommending those of you with Aquarius placements to look at like DBT or mindfulness-based counseling, the Observer, because this is honestly like the foundation of a lot of my work. And, how I teach people to manifest as well. I have a lot of experience with mindfulness practice, mindfulness-based counseling, and you learn, like, once you learn how to be more mindful regularly, you literally rewire your brain. So the trauma is not like is not behind the wheel. And you do that yourself. That's the cool part. Like, you don't even need meds for that. If you're afraid of meds, I think that might be another thing with Aquarius. I have inspiration showing up for Aquarius. You might have a dream that inspires you to do. This is inspired action is what I'm hearing in the channel. So get her done. That's such a great Aquarius card, isn't it? Last but not least, Pisces. And those of you with Pisces placements. Oh, I'm so glad you guys came. It's great. I will be doing these the first of every month. It's laying on its side. When a card comes out on its side, it's we haven't decided if we want to partake of that energy yet. It's available, but we're like a little wishy-washy about it. What else is going on with Pisces? Healing for Pisces as well. And look at that corked bottle. So, Emma, do you have Pisces placements as well? I can't remember. I know you have Virgo. If you're here and you're in Aquarius with a Pisces placement, look at that imagery there. That's too funny. You might also have a corked bottle of something a little wriggly in there that you're afraid of letting out. but you're getting really close. This is the 10 of Wands and it's on its side. I think you've just about had enough, Pisces. I think you've just about had it. You've had it with people, which is not abnormal. I have Journey to Wholeness. It's coming out reversed. And again, in this case, it's not because the energy isn't there. It's because you're not sure how to access this. Aquarius, Virgo, Libra. Okay. What else is going on with Pisces? Looking at both sides. Oh, this is the retrograde energy for Pisces. Bleh. Inspiration is showing up like crazy for you guys. So keep an eye on that. Maybe that's what I was macroing early. When Sandman came out, I was busting out like one work of art after another. Like I could not stop, and I'm revving back up. I kind of had this big like surge, and then I wanted to honor like the come down, so I'm not burning myself out. But that if that's the energy that I'm picking up on for everybody, that shit feels good. It feels really, really nice. Being able to just like express and like get into your creativity in ways that feel really yummy. But Pisces, I'm hearing bone to pick. Adversity. The mantra is, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I can hear Pisces being like, fuck you. I love my Pisces. Understanding, looking at both sides. This is why the 10 of Wands is on its side. This feels like you are just being dumped on by your homies. Maybe it's your work, maybe it's your partner. It's like, it feels like everybody is just like using you to offload their stuff, because maybe up until this point you've been pretty passive and like have been like, yeah, it's fine. Like you don't need to set boundaries with me. I'm a Pisces. What are boundaries? Those are made up. Those are made up by the therapy world to get people. Anyway, what's in your bottle? What's in your bottle that you need to let go of? Is it this thing? Is it that guy right there? I think you need to set some boundaries, Pisces. I really think so. This is like you being like, what are boundaries though? Like, I don't know her. I don't have a whole lot else to say for Pisces. If you're I'll get one more clarify. I know. I am so late for your dinner. Remember how I said I was going to have to like pause? No Pisces placements. This is still sounding very applicable. A lot of these have common threads here of release and letting, encouragement come in, interpersonal stuff. Just need a clarifier for Pisces. The moon. Oh, baby. When the full moon comes around, new moon or full moon? No, new moon. No, full moon in Pisces, because we're having a full moon in Pisces in a couple of weeks. When that full moon comes around, let go of the BS. Let go of it. Stop telling people they can just dump their stuff on you. I think maybe you're not realizing how much this is like impacting you until it's too late. That's everybody. That's everyone. Thanks for coming. I said I was going to tell a story about something, and I have absolutely no idea what story time was going to be about, so that might actually just be it. Patrons, if I have patrons here, we are going live to do an energy update on Friday for next week. I posted the first of the month readings. Pretty much all my content. If you're here and you want more of this, please join the Patreon. That is where most of my content is these days. My patrons are awesome. Hi, Lilu. I know you're hungry and I got to go feed my cat. So love you guys a lot. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.